Hello. Squeeze. Right. I don't know if anyone's from Camden, but my book, Whispers from Within, is in the library. And it's in about 60 libraries. It's a bit difficult getting them in them. You can buy it from my website, but my main website is besafeschoolways.com, where I raise awareness of child abuse and its consequences in later life, like a lot of other people. First thing I'm going to do is from Whispers from Within, and it's quite funny because on Facebook, someone to do with Mind was doing a thing where they was putting poems up, and they said they wanted to do it about the mental health system. And after a while, they noticed that they didn't have a single poem that was positive about it, which is unfortunately the reality. And this one is this one is dedicated not to the child abusers, but to the people, not the police neither, but to the people in society that create reasons to be silent about child abuse. It's called The World of Silence, and the silence you shame. The world is full of abusers. The minority are here to be abused by you. Mustn't disobey, mustn't tell, or you will be abused by others in the name of love, care, help or treatment. It's not the real abusers that create the worst reasons to be silent. It's you and what you do. That creates the world of shame and silence. I must be ready. I have spoken out. Even in words. When they read this, they will come and abuse me again. Maybe it's my fault after all. Maybe you're right and I'm wrong. That's a shame. Or is it shame? You decide. Shall I be silent like before? And this one's also from Whispers from Within. Basically, it's the first time I was in psychiatric hospital, and there was a couple of instances that happened, and I wrote this. This is something I wrote years later, especially because I was visiting someone in a psychiatric hospital, and they didn't know. First of all, I realised they didn't know who I was, and then second, I realised they didn't know who they were, and that's so sad. And this one's called The Psychiatric Window. Standing at the window, wearily watching, gazing on, as it all went past, I stand still, paused. Yesterday, the highlight of my day was staring at the Coke machine, sitting on a sofa most of the day, long. Others shuffled past, some like me, some not. You feel quite distant, sometimes not. But today, I'm looking out the window, so wanting to be out there. So today, I guess I'm lucky that when I look out the window, I see something else other than my own stare. I find it. This one, this one came true to me too early. I was about 32 when I felt the end of this poem. And it's called The Heavy Hands of Time. For youth, the clock rarely has hands. For the middle age, it has hands that start to spin too fast. And for the old, time weighs heavy, like all burden, knowing that most of your time has now gone. Watching the youth, wishing too that your clock had no hands to spin so fast, till you'll find a moment that you feel will come too soon. One more when I find it. Right, this one I just want to really emphasise, because I want to give due respect to all the people that may be affected by this poem, that when I use the word pity, using it in a derogatory way at all. And it's just that too often, although we know the realities of war, when we see when the politicians talk about it, it just sounds everything so clear cut that people either live or they die, and it's very, very simple. And it's called A Distant War. Pity the dead, but be joyous that they know no more pain. 24 hours news brings us the grim but computerised news update. It can even dull the horrific pictures we see to just another story, just another war. Yet in some faraway land there is not just the dead, but the blinded, the amputated, the young, the old, the soldier, the civilian, the just, the unjust, the innocent, the guilty, the sick, rich and poor. And further away are they from our day-to-day lives. Pity the dead, for they know only the peace of the grave. But pity the living more, for they have yet to find it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Harrison. Ladies and gentlemen, bring this into Mr. John Harrison.
Thank you. This is just a piece, I'll get this, about people taking the time that I've been silent to say things that ain't true about me, and I expect a lot of people have got this. It's called The Fact Is. They said I was a nutter, but yes, it was self-confessed. They said I was a violent man, not being so, it was hard for me to digest. They said I was a druggie, but not so that I could not cope. They said I was a selfish man, but that's just how they spoke. Yet I was a survivor of them and so many more. Yet I am a survivor, can't you tell? Can't you tell and hear me roar? Of the things I did and have done, you cannot tell through their lies. Of the things I did and have done, it's time for you to be wise. Good night.
John Harrison, ladies and gentlemen.